Hi everybody, I'm Ray.
I'm Atou.
And I forget how to play the Kirby game. Well, that looks weird. Did he just... Yeah, okay, I didn't realize he did a little somersault when he jumps. Why did I ever know that? Notice.
Because you don't appreciate Kirby as much as I do.
I feel like this was lower last time.
What do you mean?
Like the volume. Like, because this game was lighter than I remembered.
So...
That's good.
There. Okay.
Ah!
So anyways, I was talking to you about something earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about Final Fantasy for some reason.
Yeah, so I'm playing the game Final Fantasy Dissidia for cell phones. Great game, highly recommended, totally free. It does something wonderful I wish more phone games did. It has over like 20 plus characters. You can get them all in the game. It's a gacha game, but the only thing that they do with the gacha system is to get weapons. And all those do is like just give you special effects whenever you use character special skills. But you really don't need to worry about that. You can just take a character, level them up, power through anything. And that's only if you bother with the challenges. If you're skilled enough, you can easily get through that game without like taking any HP damage on any mission. And in fact, there's little goals inside of them to give you bonus gacha points by doing such in missions. So anyways, Dissidia in the Final Fantasy series is the great crossover series to where all Final Fantasy characters can mix and intermingle. And I was just talking to Ray about how they had characters from Final Fantasy Type 0. Like followers of the channel may remember when I did that glance through with Suyoi about Type 0 and their world shenanigans. So, a thing of note about Type 0 is how whenever you die, you are erased from everybody's memories. Now, the in-story explanation that we saw as far as me and Suyoi played was that the crystals erase the memories of the dead so that the memory aren't plagued with suffering over the loss of people who are never coming back. So, that's their explanation for that. But in Dissidia, two characters from the Type 0 world who have met and interact with the characters from the other Final Fantasy worlds were having a conversation amongst themselves. And it was a female member, the Rem, for those interested, talking with a male member named King. And she was confiding in him about how she was scared and that he was actually a little bit concerned himself. They figured that because they're in a world that's not their own, that their crystal's influence doesn't reach all the way out to like this in-between multiversal world. So they came to the conclusion to where if any party member were to die on them, then they would remember them.
Just trying not to fall off.
Yeah. And that terrified the crap out of the both of them. The idea that like if anyone was to die, they would like remember them. And when I thought about that for a moment, I must think, holy shoot! These guys are like brave for not being scared shitless at that prospect. Because I'm thinking about it, like, what would it be like to grow up in a world and a culture to where there was no such thing as mourning or suffering loss because of the death of another? The moment someone passed away, they're literally passed from memory. So, like, can you, like, just imagine what it would be like to grow up in a culture / world to where not have to worry about the pain of loss, to all of a sudden be thrown in the world to where there is a very much real possibility that when someone dies, you're going to remember there's nothing you could do about it, they're dead and they're not coming back and there's nothing yet that can be done. I mean, like, I'm just thinking about it from a normal perspective. Here we are in a culture to where we deal with death, like, constantly. It's a thing that's a fact of life that we always have to grow up and deal with.
Yeah.
You know, we have our, wakes and, like, what are they called? Funerals and stuff like that. And all of that is to more or less help us just deal with the grief of the sense of loss. And like, even though we live in a world in which we constantly have to like deal with death on a regular, it's still hard and it's even still terrifying to think about losing a loved one and stuff like that. So I'm just imagining how terrifying must it be to be faced with the prospect of actually having to deal with something like that for the first time in existence.
Yeah.
It was like...
Well, it can't be of all existence, right? Or has it always been that since the dawn of time for Type 0?
Well, from a Type 0 perspective, for as long as their culture's been around, the Kristoff has always just, like, dealt with that.
Okay.
So I was like, they've never had to deal with anything like that. And I'm just thinking, it's already terrifying enough for people in the cultures that already have to deal with that. So just, like, I'm just wondering, how could I even begin to imagine how terrifying that is? Of, like, the very real possibility of having to deal with such a thing like that, when it's already scary enough as it is having to deal with it.
Not to make light of it, but I just remembered a line that I remembered from Final Fantasy.
Which one?
I was just thought, man, Sephiroth would actually be like being part of that world. What did he keep saying in the freaking movie?
Ah, yes, I will not be just a memory.
I will never be a memory. He wanted to keep living or something. I forget what his goal was after being dead. And then coming back for some reason. Even though that wasn't the real him. I'm still confused about that.
That was the real him. His goal was, like, essentially eternal life or something like that. Like, always being around. Wow, I chose a really good power coming into this.
Technically, I would have said fire, but yeah, it's good. It's long distance, it goes full screen. He can't outrange you. You can steal Mike from him. Well, you can also beat the level.
Yep. But yeah, that's actually pretty funny as far as Sephiroth goes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you'd kind of hate that world because the moment he died, everyone would forget about him.
Yeah, but he'll never be a memory, though.
Yeah.
You would not be remembered, and that's is apparently a big problem. It's like, well, I mean, if nobody can ever remember you, then that's kind of okay.
Well, it's just a memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember how to do this room. Like, that's the secret, but I don't remember how to do it.
Ah, right.
Watch out. Okay, you beat it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're about to die anyways. I don't know why I was getting worried.
Yeah. So, like, at the end of that conversation between those two, which I was like, dang, man. Oh, shoot. Sorry.
That's
alright. Here you go. But it's like, dang, man, Final Fantasy bringing all that culture up in here about thinking about different traditions and stuff like that. Oh, right. At the end of their conversation, they took solace in the knowledge that, but hey, look at it this way. When I die, I won't be forgotten. Because, like, that had come up in an earlier conversation when they were talking about the nature of fate and destiny and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, I'll go into that, like, in a little bit. But, yeah, I thought that's an interesting way to look at it from a, that's the bright side about dying and death if no one forgets. And that, like, hey, it'll
Jump! Damn it.
It won't be like you never existed. Oh, what are you going back in here for?
I was gonna try to get the secret, see if I could figure out how to do it.
Ah.
Would you rather do that off camera like you were doing earlier?
No. Like, I was suggesting it's, since we were just going to be, like, rushing through the stage, and since I had a bit of time, that I would just go through and unlock the secrets to 100% the game. Because if there's any game worth 100%ing, it's a Kirby game. But, yeah, I just, found that, like, rather interesting, from a cultural, like, perspective. But, this is kind of like the setup that I like from Dissidia. Like, so many different worlds and cultures and stuff like that. Huh, okay. Should have figured.
That's why I couldn't remember. It's down below in the pits.
Yeah, and yet you see a lot of stuff that's just so similar between the different worlds and themes and stuff like in Final Fantasy. Like, it was interesting seeing, like, characters from 3 different Final Fantasies. Particularly Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy 13, and Final Fantasy Type 0, who were, like, all those games, they dealt with the themes of fate and destiny in their own particular way, and to just see them all come together and interact from their own different perspectives of how the games treated those themes, which I thought was interesting. Like, there was a conversation between these 3 characters, and, like, they're all about, why is this guy going around doing bad stuff? and they were talking about Kuja, the main bad guy from Final Fantasy IX. So Kuja's big thing was that he was a designer warrior? Is that the word I'm looking for? Well, he was someone that was genetically engineered and created to be a Grim Reaper to kill a world, so that the souls of that world could be replaced with the souls of another world. And afterwards, he would just come to an end of existence. And he hated that. He hated the idea that like his fate was decided for him, and that he pretty much had a time limit on his life. And so he sought to fight against destiny by killing everything. I think. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Like,
Oh, he can throw a star. What the fuck happens? I just started a level and I can't get out of here.
Yeah. Kuja sought immortality, and failing that, he figured, well, if I can't live forever, then existence should not be allowed to exist. And so he went to destroy the Crystal of Existence. So that was Kuja's big thing. And that's kind of what they're going into in this Dissidia crossover game. Why is Kuja doing the bad stuff that hurts people? And they're kind of explaining, oh, well, he's afraid of dying. And like other people are like, oh, okay. And they explain a little bit more. It's kind of like he's afraid of dying, and he's fighting against destiny to stop from dying.
Hey, remember when I did the wheel here because I was having fun? I just railed off the fucking ledge. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just remembered, and that was funny. Yeah. Oh, that's not fair. None of this is fair. Stone Luigi.
Yeah. So, like, he was afraid of dying, fight destiny, and the other two characters were, like, actually able to identify with that. One of those characters was Hope, a kid from Final Fantasy 13. And now the thing about 13 is that the heroes were cursed with a special mark that gave them superpowers. But this curse came with a condition, like a quest, if you will, that they had to fulfill. If they didn't fulfill the quest in time, they would turn into monsters and lose themselves. If they fulfilled the quest in time, they would be crystallized and made immortal, essentially put into a deep sleep, only to be awoken and given another quest to fulfill, to which were the same time limit. To where, like, it was an eternal life of, go out and complete your quest. You either die trying, or you die by not completing it quick enough. I mean, like, kind of a sucky destiny to have there, huh?
Yeah, just because you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh yeah, that's because, like, these super powerful beings are the ones that, like, mark you with these curses to do this kind of stuff. And they do it purely by proximity.
Oh, come on! I did the fucking attack first.
Yeah, there's no, like, they chose you because of your skill or anything like that. It's as simple as one of them panicked and marked the closest thing that they had near him. Like, a freaking 3-year-old was marked with the mark of destiny.
Yeah.
But his dad was like, fuck that noise! And, like, took the mark onto himself so that he could save his kid from that destiny. In the end, the game works out due to a literal Deus Ex Machina happening. That's how 13 ends. It's just that the game's playing it from the perspective of, like, everyone is still going around trying to figure out what they're gonna do. They could lose themselves to being monsters, or they could fulfill, like, their quest. And their quest literally put them against their entire own race as humans. Because it was like, there's this super city where everybody grew up, a giant sphere floating in the air, and, like, the quest that the kid got marked with, I want you to drop that and kill everybody.
I got it through roulette!
Ah, neat. Yeah, listen, kid, I want you to go here, and you know that place where you grew up where all your friends and family is? Yeah, drop that. Kill everybody there. And if you don't, then you're going to turn into a monster and lose yourself. But hey, when you do kill everybody you know and love, you'll turn into an immortal crystal, and I'll just wake you up to kill something in the future. I don't know. It's whatever I feel like.
Damn it! Like, I got you a phone, I still died.
Yeah, like, if there's anybody that had any, like, reason to want to fight destiny, boy, did that kid have it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, huh, so he's fighting destiny by doing all this bad stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can see why he would, like, go alongside with him with that. And then we had the same girl from Final Fantasy Type 0. And she's talking all like, oh, well, whenever a person is born, their fate is pretty much decided by the crystals. And, like, you know, all moves according to the crystal's wills and stuff like that. And also, like, she has a terminal illness. So, like, she's destined for death even more hardcore than Kuja, who's afraid of death and trying to fight that destiny is. So, you know, she was relating to him on that kind of front. On, like, what kind of stuff would I be willing to do if it meant I could avoid my horrible, predestined death? And, like, the characters who were bringing those perspectives with them, I thought, that's really interesting. That, like, I get other people's perspectives on, like, you know, more or less, like, relating to the bad guy of why he's doing what he's doing. Of course, all that pretty much immediately went out the window when the main hero from Final Fantasy IX came in. And it was like, oh, hey, gang, what you talking about? We're talking about Kuja and his glorious fight against Destiny. And, like, you know, the main hero from Final Fantasy IX is like, yeah, screw him! And they're all like, what? What do you mean? There's, like, but he's trying to fight against death and destiny, and his main response was, regardless of what Kuja is trying to do, he's hurting people trying to do it, and that's no good.
Zidane says.
Yeah, Zidane. I prefer Zidane myself, but...
I would too.
Yeah.
Not really, I don't care. Thinking about it, it's actually kind of weird that they pronounce his name that way, given Japanese phonetics, and they always pronounce the E. It is always pronounced. It's never that tail-ended, it modifies the letter slightly type of thing. It's apparently never that.
Yeah.
Now, I thought, that's interesting. Why didn't I never know that before? It seems very important.
Ah, missed him.
Who'd you miss?
I was, like, aiming for that one enemy when I was making my way up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that's hilarious, and, you know, that's also how I look at the situation. Yeah, it sucks for you, you're going to die, but you're hurting a lot of people trying not to die, so screw you.
Yeah.
You know, simple enough as that. You know, and, you know, probably even a bit more poignant, considering that the main character, Zidane from 9, had the exact same fate as Kuja did. So it's not like he didn't understand where Kuja was coming from. Like, you know, he probably knew more than anyone else the type of fate and destiny.
Oh, I don't remember this. I don't remember this area at all. Wait a minute.
With, like, the multiple doors?
Yeah. Though I'm noticing that there's one door in each room so far that doesn't have stuff around it.
Yeah, you basically gotta go, like, back and forth between doors, find the open... Whoop. Thank goodness for that slowdown there.
Just throw some boomerangs.
Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, if you see something behind a door that you really want, then,
Oh, yeah, that's the trick here.
Okay, that got me.
I was like, what was the trick?
Gotcha.
So I do believe Kirby Star Allies is actually coming up much sooner than I'm expecting. Like, much sooner.
Oh yeah, and that reminds me.
Like, dangerously sooner. Like, I was really hoping that before a new big Kirby game came out in the console, we'd be done with this. But then then you got sick and everything, so that didn't help. It's just like, I would love to play for the channel, but I'd like to get through this first, but that's just a personal thing. Like, we don't have to wait just because of me.
Well, I don't mind waiting. Did I get everything?
I don't know what else there would be to get. You went through every door, if anything.
Okay. But, yeah, that reminds me. So, you remember how you said it was confirmed how Adeline and Aldo were the same person?
At least in an art book, it specifically stated this. Officially stated this. 20th anniversary art book, mind you.
Okay. I still love the idea that they're different people. Mainly because, like, it all probably just stems from one picture, honestly. And you probably even know the picture I'm talking about.
Probably not. I don't know a lot about.
Oh, then I got a certain piece of artwork to give to you.
I only know of, like, one Adeline picture, and by that I mean I don't know of a lot. I've seen Adeline pictures, but I don't know of a lot of them.
Okay, because, like, I've seen fan art of Adeline and Aldo, like, together. And some of the really great pictures are those that make them seem really similar alike to each other, but there's just enough minute differences to where, boy, do they come off as different people. To where it's like, okay, I can see. So the characteristics that distinguish Atou are this, characteristics that distinguish Adeline are this. They're clearly like cut from the same cloth, but still like I can recognize them as individuals. It's more or less like the Popo and Nana situation, really. So where their characters clearly cut from the same cloth with like not much individualizing them, but for what's little that's there.
Oh, God damn! I didn't think it was a boomerang.
Yeah, what little that's there to separate them, I appreciate it. So, which helps me to appreciate them as individuals. Because, like, Popo and Nana, like, their little hair differences are little. But still, I feel like those little things just kind of adds to their characters as individuals a bit more. Like, is that the best way to put it? Like, the more alike that they are, that those little individual characteristics that make them individual just make them stick out more as individuals to me.
I kind of understand.
Yeah, to where, like, yeah, here's this one, like, a template that's, like, the generic template, but here's them as a person, like, what their little characteristics and stuff like that is. Which, was there ever any more than just like a colors and a haircut that separated the ice climbers?
I do believe that's their only difference. Haircut and color. One's a girl. I kind of jumped that one a little too early.
Like, what I'm wondering is, like, did they ever put in any animation differences, like, between the two? Like, one swung their mallet a certain way, or one just kind of, like, did this particular thing?
No, they're like exact clones in Smash Bros. In terms of moveset. I thought this was going to be harder. Like, that's way too slow for my normal. Meaning I'm going to die. Well, that's the fastest I've gotten. And it's still going to be the fastest I'll ever get. I'm going to lose this one. Okay. I did think I'd get the same amount of frames. This is the one I always lose. Ah! It was way too fast. Remember the time I figured out how to cheat the thing and it takes even longer to beat?
Yeah.
Alright, it's your turn. That's why I'm going to take this from...
Oh, okay.
Invincible Lolly. Can you exit through the door and take it? Yay! Fuck this noise.
Just kill everything along the way. Not in my way, along the way.
I really want to see this thing added into Smash Brothers. You know, I just realized exactly how somebody could mod it, at least in the Brawl, because it's already been technically done. So, remember that time I brought you and Suyoi to try out this Brawl mod with me that was like Brawl Plus or whatever, to be more like Melee? And it changed up Wario's moveset severely, so he was Wario and not WarioWare for his moveset.
Huh.
I remember Suyoi didn't like it, which I was like, but you would prefer that he was Wario instead of WarioWare. I told you everybody to be very different in this game, because it's faster and everything. And he didn't like it still. Either way. Yeah, in that game they replaced the curry item with turbo. So it was like instead this little sprite of like this weird icon, and whenever you grabbed it you got like a purple aura instead of the regular chili aura. But that means they just hacked it to recolor that effect. And they changed what the effect did by instead just making you speed up and shoot fire that allowed you to cancel all of your moves for a short amount of time. So basically fighting game standards of you doing moves. That everything canceled into everything. And it's pretty crazy funny. What happened? Are you getting a sword?
Nope.
What are you getting?
My gun.
Oh, okay.
It's doing pretty good with it.
Either way, basically you see where I'm going with this. People already hacked to change how the curry works. They could do that for Hyper in there. To where it would just be a sprite of a lollipop, and when you picked it up, your body would just cause damage and you move fast. Because Curry already made you move fast. They just have to speed up everybody's moving animation. And that can be easily achieved because that was what Turbo already did, to make you faster. That is weird, I don't know. I just think it would be a funny and good thing to have in the Smash Brothers because Superstar doesn't make you hurt people when you touch them. Which is what it does in every Mario game. So why is Smash Brothers different, right? You give more reason for people to run away from you other than make it annoying that you're fully in control of yourself and you can't touch anybody. Because they put, like, a mile between you and them. In the first Smash Brothers, they probably did have the AI to do it, but weren't as smart about how to get away. And I don't remember them ever actually running. I just remembered wondering why did they do that in Melee. Because I wasn't used to it. Because I didn't realize they would code it in there, you know? I just, you know, another thing of, like, why not more Kirby items in the Smash Bros. Series? We already got, like, 2, we need, like, 18. Technically, we had, like, we technically had 3 in Brawl because the paper fan was still there, and that's technically a Kirby item.
Oh, it is?
Technically.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure it's because of Kirby 64, and oh, fuck, there goes the hammer secret. Wait, was it even really a secret if it's not a button? That was really the secrets, wasn't it? The buttons to open up more rooms.
Yeah.
Whee! It's really kind of felt superfluous for getting 1-ups now, other than, like, well, we just go back to the beginning of the room, and we did beat that level. It really depends if we're, like, at the end of the level, then I'll be pretty miffed. Like, oh, darn.
You go.
That looks very much like a secret wasn't uncovered, but there isn't any secret, so never mind. Oh, we already have... Fuck! Well, now we don't have beam. I can't jump and suck. There we go. Ah! Ah! Shit! I was gonna jump and shoot, but that didn't work out. Oh! So, I think I'm going to say I caught him on the last frame where he hit the ground. Therefore, I couldn't stop him. Because otherwise, that should have worked. There really was no reason to do that, but... Oh. I thought that was gonna... So Crash will break everything but a block. Kirby's foot could do more than Crash can. No pun on Bandicoot himself.
Ah, yes, and this also reminds me of something, but I'm wondering, do I have enough time to bring it up?
We got like... No, we've got 3 minutes, unless you can somehow abridge it into 3 minutes.
I don't think I can. Okay, so, let's see, something else. What can I bring up that can be summarized in 3 minutes?
That wasn't very fair.
Abject fairness?
I don't know what that means. I don't think I've heard that phrase. I remember this section. Because you don't need to do thing. Fuck! I forgot about that. I went a little too low. Oh no, now I'm stuck here forever.
Oh, okay.
I was joking. I knew I wasn't stuck. Wait, would I die if I stood on top of the blocks? Because it would probably crush me to the roof. Can Kirby even die from crushing in this game? Can he die from that in any series? That's like a Mario Bros. Thing, but other games can have it.
From a technical standpoint, but as far as a mechanical standpoint with those things, I don't know. I mean, after all, like, when you get hit with that hammer, that's the enemy crushing you. So, you know, death by that crushing. But as far as, like, when blocks form, I'm not sure.
I forget if there was a secret door in any of these. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a secret door in one dark room. Otherwise, I think this would be camouflaged at the end.
Seems like a thing.
There we go.
So,
oh, fuck. Did it way too early. So, what?
I was going to say, end off on a high note, but no, you end off on a bronze note.
Oh, you're trying to say that now, are you? It's all bronze notes, is it? Well, I'm going to eat a bunch of eggs. Come on, man, give it to me. I was not going to really try. It's too hard, it's too fast. The only one that's technically really hard is the gun thing, because the third guy is even harder than normal. We could try to fight a boss real quick just before. Here you go.
About me?
Yeah.
Well, I insist on having my gun.
Okay, fine. 4 hours later. Is it really just in the one back room?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't think it was just one room back. Personally, I think the sword's the best because it's melee with range for some reason. It attacks like 2 Kirbys in front of you in terms of distance. You're gonna need to remove your ability.
Oh!
You're equipped with high jump. Uh-oh. Roulette time. Oh, okay, it doesn't work here. Dan, that would be very funny to use that to abuse to get UFO. What did you do that for? That's cool though. If the rare enemy UFO doesn't show up, we can just try for roulette. I got really lucky and then I fucked it up. I think it'd be fun to have that through the whole game somehow. I mean, theoretically you can. You don't lose your abilities when you finish a level. I can't think of too many cases where you would have to lose UFO at all, other than the very, very end of the game. Who's vulnerable? Fight me, damn it! Ah! Okay, I was about to say, don't let him touch you. Moonbeam! Oh, it's just raining stars. Oh, jeez, I'm sure oh, hey! I didn't expect him to have a custom sprite for being on fire while he's fat. That's a very specific thing to have. You know, this fight might actually be hard now. Like, because there's only so little health and they got all the crazy attacks. And then he does the fire from the sky.
I was expecting it to boomerang. Oh, darn it! Okay, so I do not want to attempt that again without my gun.
Well, I'll give it a try. With my feet. Not really. Hold on, I'm going to use the sword because I'm more confident with that. That's in the first world, right?
Yes.
Alright, we never went to the Warp Star Station yet, so I have to tutorialize us on it.
Alright. Well, since we apparently have enough time for me to go into it. So, remember how I was going over that I was trying to make up a name for my Trenya?
Yes.
Do you remember the name that I decided upon?
No, actually I don't. I remember the one I tried to come up with, because I had to write it out in text on that episode I edited.
Wait, did I ever say what it was on that episode, or no?
That's what I'm saying, I don't remember.
Huh. Well, anyways, yeah, I was trying to come up with a name that meant love, Ophelia, blah, blah, blah. In the end, the name that I decided that I'm going to name my Trenya from Monster Hunter, my little cat companion, is Necophilia.
Ah. Nope. 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 Hey, I took 2 hits. No, I didn't. What the hell? What did I hit twice? Whatever. Ah, fuck. I knew that was gonna happen. No! Let me have it! Give it back! Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh! He touched me. He touched me ever so slightly. Okay, I'm gonna attack this the classic way, because I'm having trouble trying to spam it.
Okay. But, yeah, like, I decided that I was going to use the name Necophilia for various reasons. One, I like the idea that I can just nickname her Nene. Another idea is that if she didn't like the name Necophilia, then she can go with the name I originally was going to go with, Ophelia, since that's still part of the name, and that is, like, the first name I came up with. And then, also, Suyue pointed this out to me, and he thought it was why I was going to go with it. But no, I did not realize this until he pointed it out to me. I did not realize how close it was to sounding like necrophilia.
Oh, I already realized that. I just didn't think that was a problem because you seemed so confident going into it, so I thought you knew.
No, I had no idea. I didn't hear the sound
I actually thought that was somehow sort of part of the pun of, like, it almost sounds like it, but it's not. It's missing the very, very important R.
Yeah, like, that's like a bonus pun that just came in out of nowhere. Yeah, like, I was totally just saying, no, I'm basically taking Japanese word for cat, neko, and philia, Greek word for love, and it was like, yeah, necrophilia. I totally did not hear the necrophilia, like, association in there when I was thinking of it. It changes nothing. It just makes me more aware about something. So, you know, just like, throwing that out there, that is just a coincidence.
Well, on that note, I think we'll see you guys next time, because I don't want to extend this episode longer just because we keep dying to Sun and Moon. So we'll beat them up in the next episode. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, but then you'll have to play the sequel stars.
No, we'll have to play the Ultra Sun and Moon.
Right.
The real sequel.
Later.
Bye.